All right, well, it's the appointed place and the appointed time, so we'll get started. Jai Bhagwan. And Jai Bhagwan. Welcome to an introduction to meditation and motion. In the yoga world, I answer to Indu most of the time, although I have lots of other names I answer to, but for purposes of simplicity, we'll just call me Indu for right now. And Nurali has invited me to introduce you to meditation and motion. And I know you're still right in the heart of level 1, you're learning the script, you're getting it down. This is just kind of a, we'll just say a little reprieve in the midst of all of that, just to try something a little bit further down the experience of I Am Yoga. In meditation and motion, we came up with something called the I Am Yoga bandwidth. And the bandwidth starts over here at posture of consciousness, and then it moves into here, into introduction to meditation and motion. And then way down here where I can barely reach because I'm not flexible enough is what we call meditation and motion. And Gurudev calls meditation and motion the final stage of I Am Yoga. And the way that we approach meditation and motion is that we can reveal to our students anywhere on this bandwidth. You guys understand the foundation of I Am Yoga. You understand the importance of prana. You understand the importance of meditation. So it doesn't matter really where you are on this bandwidth. However, some things change in the practice as we move to about right here. So in the posture of consciousness, we have the physics of energy following attention, right? You guys all know this, right? So we've got the press points, the energetic extensions in the first half of the pose. And wherever you focus your attention on those press points and energetic extension, you're going to feel prana's presence, right? Well, as we start to make what we call the conscious crossover that happens right about here, we make a shift from energy following attention to attention following energy. Whoa, Indu, what is that? Maybe you remember that in I Am Yoga, we have will and we have surrender, right? Well, in this middle point between will and surrender, we have this conscious crossover where we have an interplay between will and surrender. And we start to move towards the surrender side of things, right? Well, attention following energy is learning to surrender to prana. Because as you're probably learning, prana has a wisdom of its own. It sees a huge picture that perhaps we don't see in our normal way of looking at the world. So when we focus our attention on the energy, as Gurudev would say, is going to lead us to the source. Gurudev says, follow prana to the source. And that source is you. That source is wholeness, that source is yoga, that source is love. Doesn't matter to me what you call it. But as we make that conscious crossover into attention following energy, we begin to follow prana to its source. And that means that the movements aren't as scripted from the person in the front of the room. It's your own personalized exploration of prana, and it's how it's showing up in your body in any given moment. That's meditation and motion. We're gonna explore right around here. We don't want to take you too far down right now because we don't want to, you're still studying the script. You still have these things you need to learn. So I'm just going to give you a taste of what it means for attention to follow energy. And I'm going to add some tools. You've already been learning the 7 principles of I Am Yoga. I'm going to add some of the introduction to meditation and motion tools into the practice. And we're just going to experiment, right? Your yoga mat is your laboratory. You're going to see what happens. See, the great thing is you can't do anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong. You can't do anything wrong. Yes, repeat that mantra as many times as you need to. I can't do anything wrong. Good. So just be at ease. You can't do anything wrong. Everything's in. As I'm guiding you through, if all of a sudden you're like, I need to stretch in this direction, but level 1 tells me to hold it like this. No. Right now, for this amount of time with me, just this amount of time, you are given permission to stretch a little bit outside of the typical form of the pose. Okay. Then when you go back to studying for level 1, you go back to the form of the pose. But since our attention is following energy, I give you 100% permission to veer a little bit away from things to begin to explore what's happening in your own prana in your body. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no? Okay. Good. All right. So I'm also going to be introducing you to something called the Kriya of Chitta and Prana. It's what Bapaji calls the highest experience of yoga. And I know some of you have experienced this before, some of you haven't. I'm just going to let the experience speak for itself, because I can give you a bunch of words, but really until you experience it for yourself, it has no meaning. So, use my words as a guide, but go to your own experience, okay? Don't let my words be religion, just let your own experience. Then it's yours. Then it's yours to take with you off the mat into your life. So the format of the practice will be a little different from level 1. Just, go with the flow, be at ease, and enjoy the ride. And at the end, we'll have time for questions and answers. But are there any questions before we begin? We're good? All right, good. So we'll start out with our prayers as normal. I'm assuming we're all familiar with the Asatoma mantra by now. So just bring your body into a comfortable seated position, however that shows up for you right now. You can use whatever props you need to. And just remember, we're working at our edge at all times, not past the edge. So you can make any adjustments you need to anywhere along the way if the edge changes. If you find it supportive, close the eyes. And just take a few deep cleansing breaths in and out. And feel those deep, full breaths moving through the body. Arriving in the present moment. And just before we begin chanting the Asatoma mantra together, let's take a moment and contemplate the words. Lead me from the unreal to the real. What is real? In meditation and motion, we say that which is real is universal, unchanging, and timeless. Lead me from darkness to light. What is light? It's the light of awareness, consciousness, that sees both darkness and light in the same light from a unified perspective. Lead me from time-bound consciousness to the timeless state of being that I am. Right here, right now. I'm going to have the harmonium playing. We'll have a little extra sound going on. And we'll begin with a full sound of Om. You can just tune into the body, and if it feels appropriate to bring the hands into prayer position, do so slowly, not in autopilot, but just feel what the body is asking for right now. And move into that position in an attentive way. Begin with the sound of Om together, drawing in a full breath. Feeling the effects of the sounds and the vibration in the second half of the pose. And slowly using what we call conscious feeling all along the way. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of the heart. Feeling beautiful presence of prana in your own precious body. And Jai Bhagwan. And the spirit is victorious, unified within each of us. Releasing the hands slowly down. And simply bringing the body into a comfortable seated position. You may need to shift the position you've been in. Just tune into the body. One leg's in front, maybe the opposite leg wants to come front. If you're seated on the heels, just make sure that's still comfortable. Remember, you can't do anything wrong. Turning the palms to face up on the knees or thighs. I'm going to experiment with the Kriya of Chitta and Prana, Babaji's gift to the West. So just follow along, and if at any time during this exercise you need to adjust your posture, please feel free to. Relax the abdomen, the chest, the shoulders, the neck, the face. Yet feel that extension through the spine, holding you in position. And begin to deepen and lengthen your inhalations and your exhalations, just slightly. Just noticing what that feels like in the body. Now begin to imagine, visualize, as if you could breathe in and out right through the center of your abdomen. Let your attention focus at the center of the abdomen. And imagine breathing in and out through the center of the abdomen. Energy follows attention, so just begin to feel perhaps stronger sensations at the center of the abdomen. And if you can't quite feel that, go ahead and place your hand at the center of the abdomen to help orient your attention there. Keeping the shoulder relaxed, continuing to breathe in and out right through the center of the abdomen. Letting the hand rest there as long as feels appropriate. Now with your next inhaling breath, imagine drawing the breath through the center of the abdomen and then feel the prana, the sensations, the energy rise up in the torso, exhaling through the center of the chest. So now the breathing pattern is inhaling through the center of the abdomen, the breath, the energy, the sensation rising up into the torso, exhaling through the center of the chest, the heart center. As you let your attention flow from the abdomen through the torso, through the chest, feel the energy follow the attention through the body. And let your ears be completely captivated by the soft sound of your own precious breath, gently flowing in and out. Next time you inhale through the center of the abdomen, really feel that energy rise up in the torso to the center of the chest. Exhaling through the center of the chest, and now inhaling through the center of the chest. Feel that, breathing in and out through the heart center, what Babaji calls the abode of prana in the body. Be at ease. Just feel as you breathe steadily in and out. Now with your next inhaling breath, draw the breath in through the center of the chest. Split the breath in two and feel the breath stream down both arms into the palms of the hands as you exhale to the palms of the hands. So now the breathing pattern is inhaling through the center of the chest. The breath, the energy, the sensations, feel them stream down the arms, exhaling through the palms of the hands. Just relax and feel that. Tension flowing in through the chest, flowing down the arms, exhaling out through the palms. Nothing to perfect, just the present moment felt experience of energy flowing through the body. Next time, the energy, the breath, the attention is at the palms of the hands, exhaling. Hold the attention there and inhale through the palms of the hands. So now you're breathing in and out through the palms of the hands. Feeling the energy. Follow the attention right in the palms of the hands. Continue to visualize breathing in and out the palms of the hands as you slowly, almost imperceptibly slowly, begin to lift the hands up off the knees or thighs. Continue breathing in and out through the palms of the hands. And in that same slow movement, turn the palms to face towards one another. As you breathe in and out through the palms of the hands, without allowing the palms to touch, begin to press the hands towards one another until you feel almost what's like an energetic magnetic pulse or sensation between the palms of the hands. And when you feel that energy, that edge of sensation between the palms of the hands, continue breathing in and out through the palms and just press and pull the palms together and apart. Maybe just about 1/8 of an inch. Just experimenting with and feeling this energy between the palms of the hands. This is an energetic edge, and you're making a micro movement right over that felt sensation between the palms. Don't think about it, just feel the sensations between the palms of the hands. Breathing in and out. If you can feel this energy between the palms, just experiment if perhaps there's a top and a bottom, or a front and a back. Just continue to pulse the hands back and forth about 1/8 of an inch, experimenting with feeling energy between the palms now, not just inside the body. The attention following the energy, exploring the density, the depth, the size, the shape. Now allow the hands to just slowly release back into a comfortable position. Just noticing if the mind is deeply absorbed by sensation and the accompanying breathing pattern. You made at ease physically. And just notice where the released energy wants to go. Perhaps the third eye. No right or wrong. Maintaining this felt sense of absorption. I'm going to move into what we call the bowing breath. And this technique can be done seated on the heels with the legs crossed, even with the legs extended out in front of you. So don't think about it, just feel what position the body wants to move into if it wants to change positions. No right or wrong. Stay in your feeling center. Sitting up tall, pressing down into the sits bones, extending up through the crown of the head. Once again, deepening and lengthening your inhalations and your exhalations. Continue to feel that sense of absorption in breath and prana and energy. And with your next inhaling breath, as you draw the breath from the bottom of the lungs all the way up through the torso, the top of the breath, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back just slightly. And as you exhale, hinge from the hip creases, fold forward and down, using the hands to support you as needed, folding as far as the body wants to go. No right or wrong. And then on your next inhaling breath, inhale, let the breath fill the body, rise back up. Feeling the breath rise up in the torso at the top, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back slightly. Pause and then exhale and fold forward once again. Letting the breath guide the movements and continue at your own pace with your own breathing pattern. The inhalation takes you up, the exhalation takes you back down. Stay in touch with the felt sensations in the body. Let the breath flow slowly and steadily so that you can feel what's present right now. sensations that you're feeling. Prana is the manifestation of divine love in the body. Just let go into the breath, into the movements. Simply observing that there's a natural pause in between each inhale, each exhale, that moment of stillness, of silence. Letting the next movement arise out of stillness, silence, steadiness. Next time you find the body in the upright position, just stay in the upright position, bringing the head and the body into neutral. Feel the effects of the bowing breath. And then focus the attention at the third eye. Remain anchored and steady. Third eye awareness. As you just tune into your body and just see if it's asking for any movements right now. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. If it is, just go with that. Maybe a roll of the shoulders or a circle of the head or a stretch of the legs. There's no right or wrong. Just feel it out. What is prana asking for? Let the breath continue to flow in a natural yet steady manner. And as the energies begin to guide you into any movements and then back to stillness, just slowly begin to transition into a position on your hands and knees in table position for cat and cow. And if table position isn't appropriate for you, then you can just remain seated and follow my instructions from the seated position. Not a problem whatsoever. For table position, again, just approach it slowly and consciously, feeling all along the way. Lining up the knees directly below the hips, the wrists directly below the shoulders. Beginning with the head in line with the spine, and just come to a steady position right here, feeling the energetic extension from the tailbone out through the crown of the head. Breathe deeply in and out. And as you hold the pose, just notice that there's perhaps a natural prompting to begin to move into some cow and cat. So when you feel that, inhale, lift the head, lift the tailbone, let the belly drop down. And as you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest and round the spine. And continue again at your own pace. Just feeling what's happening in the spine, the arms, and the hips, and the legs. Pressing the palms down, pressing the knees down. Breathing. Exploring. Complete one more round and then return back into table position. Continue to breathe steadily in and out. And we're going to begin to circle the whole upper torso. There's no right or wrong direction to begin going in, so just feel it out And just begin to circle the whole upper body. And just notice, are those circles large to begin with, small? There's no right or wrong. Just move slow enough that you can feel what's happening in the body, because I want you to just explore. And as you're circling, just begin to notice if there's any areas of greater tightness or tension. And the next time you kind of circle into that greater tightness or tension, instead of circling past it, just begin to lean into it a little bit and come up right up against it into a steady position at your edge. So you're feeling perhaps a little bit more restriction, tightness, tension at that edge. And just hold there in a steady position and take some full breaths in and out as you hold and feel. And then begin to engage in some micro movements right over that edge of sensation. So those micro movements are those 1/8 of an inch movements you made during the Kriya of Chitta and Prana with your hands back and forth over the energetic edge. Make those same small movements wherever the sensations are strongest in your body right now. It's still an energetic edge. It's just a more dense sensation of an edge in the body. A little bit back and forth. And then see if those micro movements help to release some of that trapped energy in the body. And then see if that leads to perhaps some additional movements, maybe circling in the opposite direction now. Again, just feel it out, letting the body open with these warm-ups, these Kriya starters. Breathe, feel, and observe. Eventually, we're going to make our way back into a table position. If something else shows up along the way, just go with that. Join in on my instructions. Once you feel the energy has completed itself, meaning there's no clear direction for prana to move in a specific way. And we'll return back to table position at that point. From here, walk the hands forward about an inch from where their position is below the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. If you're in a seated position, we're going to come into downward dog and then up to standing. So you're just going to do so in a natural way that's appropriate for the body. For those of you in table position, press down into the fingers, relax your head now. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, press the hips up and back into downward dog. And as you first come into the pose, just see if there's any movements that are needed here to help open up the body a little bit more deeply into the pose. Maybe bending one knee and then the opposite knee, maybe moving the shoulders or moving the head a little bit. Know that you can come out of this pose anytime you need. You can come down into a child's pose. Really honor your edge here. Don't feel like you have to hold in the pose. Honor the edges first. That's energy guiding you. If you're past an edge, that's prana guiding you to release, reset, so that you can come back in a relaxed way. So you can maintain that meditative awareness throughout the practice. That's meditation in motion. As you come into downward dog, relax the head, bend the knees, lift the tailbone up nice and high, and then slowly begin to straighten the legs. Press into the palms, lift the tailbone up, press the thighs back and the heels down. Breathe, breathe and feel. And then from here, slowly begin to walk the feet forward towards the hands back towards the feet as appropriate, coming into a forward fold. If you need to support yourself in the forward fold, you can place the hands on the thighs, bending the knees, keeping the back safe. Let the head, the neck relax. Perhaps you want to Rock a little bit from side to side. Just feel that out in the body. What's the body asking for? Coming back to center. In a moment, I'm going to invite you to rise up. The way that you're going to rise up is going to be unique to your body. If there's any lower back issues, then bend the knees, place the hands on the thighs, and press yourself up with a flat spine, engaging the core, your abdominal muscles. If you don't need that added support, shift the weight back towards the heels, engage your core, and then on an inhaling breath, slowly rise up one vertebrae at a time. Feel, feel, feel all along the way. As you come up to standing, close the eyes. Focus your attention at the third eye. Reset back into meditative awareness right here, right now in the body. The eyes can remain closed or open as you step your feet together in preparation for Tadasana. Once you hear the word Tadasana, don't jump in ahead into what comes next. Just be present in your body as you step your feet together. Feel that. And then slowly, using conscious feeling, bring the hands into prayer position in front of the heart. Feel, feel, feel. And before you allow the hands to touch, just feel that heat, that energy between the palms. Just hover with the hands just about to touch, but not quite. Make that 1/8 of an inch movement. Feel the energy. And then allow the hands to greet one another. Feel the sensations of touch as you rest the thumbs at the sternum. Stand tall by pressing down into the feet and extending up through the crown of the head. Feel the energy engaged in the whole body. And then with your next inhaling breath, begin to press the palms together as you extend the arms straight up overhead, interlacing the fingers into temple position. Arms alongside the ears, slightly behind if that's available. Drop the tailbone. Firm through the buttocks and inner thighs as you press down into the feet. Feel that and engage it. Maintain it as you extend up through the spine and out through the fingertips. Bring your chin parallel to the floor. Relax the shoulders. Draw the lower ribs in towards the spine as you keep the tailbone tucked in. Now breathe and feel. Breathe and feel. And if you're starting to feel like you're going to pass an edge here, back away from the pose 10% or even 100% if you need to, so that you can relax and come back in with a renewed ability to be at ease at the edge in the posture. And then remember those micro movements. If you're feeling tension in the shoulders, just make those micro movements up and down or back and forth 1/8 of an inch to help open and release trapped energy in the shoulders. Continue to breathe and feel. And now separate the hands away from each other, about shoulder width apart, and feel that first release of sensation in the arms. Breathe and feel this now. And without any specific direction in mind, coming 100% from your feeling, allow the arms to begin to move in whatever way feels appropriate to come out of the pose. There's no right or wrong. Feel how the arms want to release. Let the attention follow the energy. And if there's any accompanying movements or even poses that show up, go with that. There's no right or wrong. And if there's any uncertainty, Once the arms come down, just make that 1/8 of an inch movement back and forth in the hands and feel the energy in the palms, just like you did during the Kriya of Chitta and Prana. Maintaining that connection to absorption and energy. You can't do anything wrong. If the body is engaged, if prana is clearly guiding you, stay with that. Enjoy my instructions once there's no clear direction from prana, not the mind from prana. If the body and the energy is ready to come into the next pose, step the feet together once again if they're apart. Bring the hands back into prayer position. Move slowly and attentively. Feel. Stand tall by pressing down into the feet, extending up through the crown of the head. Inhale, press the palms together, extend the arms directly overhead, fingers interlaced into temple position. Press down into the feet, drop the tailbone, and extend up through the spine and out through the fingertips. Smooth, steady breaths in and out. Begin to press down into the left foot. Inhale, extend up through the fingertips. Exhale, press the hips to the left as you extend the upper torso up and over to the right into half moon. Shoulders and hips square to the front of the room. Don't collapse on that right side. Press down into the left foot. Press out through the left hip. Extend up through the left side body and out through both arms and fingertips. Breathe and feel. And again, micro movements are appropriate here. If you need to release some tension in shoulders and hips, now go with that. Just feel it out. Does it feel appropriate to release a little tension in the hips and the shoulders? You can experiment. Maybe even bending a knee. Press into the feet. Inhale up through the arms. Bring the upper torso back up to center as you extend out through the fingertips. Relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Press into that right foot. Inhale, extend up through the body. Exhale, press the right hip to the right as you extend the upper torso up and over to the left. Shoulders and hips square to the front. Breathe and feel. You can modify this if you need to. You could even place the left hand on the hip and just extend out through the right fingertips. Just feel it out in the body. Press into the feet. Inhale, come back up to center. Drop the tailbone firm through the buttocks and inner thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, feel that, lift the chest. And as you exhale, press the hips forward, creating a back bend that is appropriate in your body right now. Breathe and feel, press the feet down, extend up through the sternum, out through the fingertips. At the edge, reset if you need to, come out and back in if you need to. And now with your next exhaling breath, simply allow the body to follow energy's promptings out of the pose in whatever way feels natural. A complementary movement to a back bend would be a forward fold. So if there's any hesitation or doubt, just begin to fold forward and down like you normally would. But feel how that is natural to prana, to energy in the body. Let the body respond naturally to the energetic promptings here. And if there's any hesitation or doubt in what to do next, just fold forward and feel that in the body. From this forward fold, we're going to make our way down into a squatting position. And then down to seated, but take your time with that. Tune into the body, explore that squat for as long as feels appropriate in the body. Feel. What are you feeling engaging? What energies are you feeling? Eventually making your way into a comfortable seated position with the eyes closed. Focusing on the release of energy in the body. And then allowing that energy to naturally integrate. If anything else shows up along the way, any other movements or poses, go with that, unrestricted. What are you aware of right now? Thought, sensation, sound. Just be the open spaciousness of awareness to allow all sensations, all sounds, even thoughts to effortlessly pass through you without restriction. From here, slowly begin to guide the body onto your back with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. And recognize it's not about getting onto your back, it's about being presence all along the way. So stay in your feeling center, not thinking about where you're going. What we call in meditation and motion being what you're doing it for, all along the way. Preparing for bridge pose. Step the feet close in towards the sits bones, hip width apart. Extend the arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Make sure you're maintaining the extension in the back of the neck, so the chin isn't jetting up to the ceiling, perhaps even just slightly tucking the chin. Now breathe and just be right here. Each precious breath flowing in and out. Feel it. Now begin to press into the arms and the feet and lift the hips up off the ground. And if it's available to you, interlace the fingers underneath the back, bringing the shoulders underneath the body. Keep the knees hip width apart. It's almost like you're pressing your thighs together even though you're not moving them closer together. Press down and away through the balls of the feet. Press into the upper arms. Breathe. Inhale, press into the balls of the feet, press into the arms, feel the hips raise, feel the chest extend away from the pubic bone. Exhale, relax right into the pose. Inhale again, press the balls of the feet down and away. Feel the hips lift. Press the upper arms down. Feel the chest extend away from the knees. Breathe, feel, stay engaged for as long as feels appropriate. I'm not going to guide you out of the pose this time. Continue to breathe and feel and follow your energy's natural promptings to come out at the appropriate moment. You can't do it wrong. There's no right or wrong here. Just feel and follow. And if there's any hesitation, is this it? Just go with it. And once the body comes out, just go with the release in whatever way shows up. Prana Shakti, she has a natural intelligence and she's there to guide you to your source of wholeness, stillness, love. So whether she's guiding you into movement or stillness, just be present all along the way so that the presence that you are reveals itself clearly and unhindered. See if a twist feels appropriate here. And if so, just let yourself be guided into a twisting position on both sides, perhaps. I won't guide you in this part, just feel it out. Perhaps something else shows up. That's perfectly okay as well. In the final stages of meditation motion, we complete our sadhana with what we call quantum pranayama and quantum meditation. This is done in a seated position. However, if it feels appropriate to come into Shavasana right now, can let the body be guided into Shavasana. If it feels appropriate to come up into a seated position, come up into a seated position. Just notice what feels right. Not from habit and from mind, but from pure bodily promptings and experience. Bring your attention into the breath. And just notice the depth of each inhalation, the length of each exhalation. The overall rhythm of your breathing. And without any struggle, begin to just slightly deepen the length of each inhalation and exhalation. As you breathe in, draw the breath to the very bottom of the lungs. Fill the lungs completely from the bottom all the way up to the top, feeling a natural rise of expansion in the torso. And as you exhale, empty from the top back down to the bottom. And simply continue with this 3-part breath. Inhaling deeply to the very bottom of the lungs, feeling the breath, the energy rise up in the torso, all the way up into the clavicles and beyond. And then on the exhalation, feel the release back down. Stay engaged in the breathing technique. And just notice how at the bottom of each exhaling breath, there's a natural pause before the next inhale happens. Just allow yourself to relax into that pause without struggle or strain for as long as is appropriate before the next inhale arises. Continue feeling. Now, at the top of each inhaling breath, just begin to observe how there is a natural pause that arises. As you draw the breath all the way up through the body, let the breath and the attention rest at the third eye during the pause for as long as appropriate until the next exhale rises. And continue breathing smoothly and steadily, observing the pause at the bottom of each exhale. And letting the attention rise up to the third eye and pause at the top of each inhale. Gurdjieff says meditation isn't something you do. It just happens naturally and effortlessly. When you feel a naturalness to being drawn to that spaciousness and openness and expansiveness and stillness of the third eye, you can release conscious control over the breathing technique and simply feel how meditation has arisen. If at any time you become distracted, just return back to the 3-part breath for several breaths, refocusing the mind. Once again, allowing meditation to happen. Be aware of being aware while being integrated. You can remain in this open, relaxed spaciousness, even while coming into movement. So simply be aware of being aware right now, relaxed and at ease. And feel the sensations in the body. And remain anchored in your bodily experience as you begin to just slightly wiggle fingers and toes if you're in the laying down position. Just feel that. Meditation in motion. Beginning to experience how you can remain in a felt sense of integration in all parts of your life. So with that, if you're laying down, just slowly begin to transition up to a seated position, but make it about remaining connected all along the way, not about getting up to seated. I find it supportive to end a meditation and motion practice with a chant acknowledging the light of awareness that I am. So you can join in at any time you feel familiar or comfortable with this chant. Just take a moment and contemplate your experience on the mat. your exploration of allowing your attention to follow the energy. And just note if there are any specific tools or techniques that were used that help you to relax into feeling and perhaps even catching a hint of prana's guidance. Maybe it was the breath, or slowing down and feeling the sensations in the body. Maybe it was the press points and the energetic extensions, or the micro movements. Just take note if there was ever a moment where you just felt like this is the way I'm being guided. And that's the essence of meditation in motion. Learning to follow that guidance more and more on the mat in your life so that you can follow prana to your source, your wholeness in every part of your life. Gently guiding the hands in front of the heart into prayer position, feeling right before the hands touch. And opening up the eyes. And Jai Bhagwan. And thank you for this opportunity to give as I have received. We are not separate.